other. Fire Ronda Rousey has been trending all week. All right.
What a transition.
After Ronda Rousey put out a controversial tweet pertaining to uh, the Sasha Banks chants from Survivor Series, Twitter was in the frenzy and began the Fire Ronda Rousey hashtag, which sparked the discussion of whether Ronda Rousey obviously should be released by WWE. Do you think that her tweets were distasteful? Do you think that they were, whatever? And do you think that Ronda Rousey still adds value to WWE?
Okay, so about the tweet, when I had shared that on Twitter, I had some people commenting saying, "Oh, that was fake, that was fabricated." Most of the time when I saw the Fire Ronda Rousey tweets circulating, they kept sharing that video of her and Shotzi wrestling. So I can't tell if it was based off of the Sasha tweet and maybe people didn't know if that was real or not. I still don't know if it was real or not. If it is, still screw Ronda. But if it's based off of her match with Shotzi and is her just botching and not selling a damn thing, I mean, also like kind of screw her. But at the same time, bro, why the fuck did you put Shotzi to lead Ronda? It's like the blind leading the. Have you not seen her last few pay per views? Like it started right before Money in the Bank, and then afterwards she just had this god awful streak where every time she was on a pay per view, she was just botching after botch. So it was never going to be a good match. But to answer your third question regarding Ronda, oh my god, she doesn't add anything to the division anymore. I understand that people dislike her because of her own beliefs. I'm putting that aside and just focusing on Ronda as a talent in WWE in what she's done in the past and what she's done now. Okay. When she first debuted and we saw her at WrestleMania and she had that whole thing like with The Rock or something like that, like she popped up or something and she had like a little stare down moment. Great shit. You know, there's passion in her eyes. She actually cared. When she had that match with I think it was Triple H and Stephanie, she had Kurt Angle on her side. I mean, she was very coordinated there. I actually
Mm-hmm.
thoroughly enjoyed watching that WrestleMania moment. That definitely added quality to the show. Definitely got ratings, was a pull. And then I love what she did for the women during the women's evolution phase. I'm not going to sit here and shame her for that era because she did help. She did help elevate that belt because the women were kind of in a wonky position and they needed to bring in someone with star power to come in and elevate the women's division, but also bring more attention to that pay per view that they had leading up. Um, and of course, to having the first ever women's main event, you know, by bringing
Mm-hmm.
star power and having her, yes, run through the division, which a lot of people didn't really like because they watched a lot of their faves get eaten by Ronda. Um, I felt like by then there was passion in her eyes and she still cared. Her matches were way better back then. She really didn't miss with the matches. I think one of my favorite ones was the one versus Sasha, actually. That one was a fire match where it looked like it could go either way. But it
Yeah,
seemed
that was a good
as
match.
though, yeah, amazing match. But it just seemed as though when the fans started just showing that they just didn't really like her that much and she couldn't accept that like people have opinions and that's how the sport kind of works, you know, fans are going to like you, they're not going to like you. I think as soon as that happened and she released that clip one day, you know, while she's getting her hair braided and she was just slandering the fans and stuff like that. A lot of people started losing respect for her. And I think she just, in general, just kind of lost that spark that made her very special. Because I think she's very entitled. I think she
Mm-hmm.
expects where anywhere she goes that she's done enough, that her name value is enough. And she's like, honey, you were special for 5 minutes in the UFC. Okay. And Stephanie McMahon happened to put you over. Triple H put you over, The Rock put you over. You know, you should be grateful for that much.
Mm.
As far as what she's done now, she's not adding a damn thing to that belt or to that division. She feels just like everybody else. She
Mm.
feels beneath the four horsewomen. She feels beneath Asuka. And it's crazy. She ran through like everybody. And now like there's nothing there. And it doesn't seem like she cares to do any better or to respect the sport. Her promos suck. It almost just seems like she didn't practice her shit and she just got up there and she's just rambling. And I understand she has a speech issue, but it's just like her attitude, her demeanor, her body language just kind of just shows that, all right, I'm just doing this for my paycheck so I can get back to my baby. You know what I mean? When it comes to her matches, like I don't care if you want to wrestle or not. The least you could do is sell. I've been noticing she does not want to sell, and I'm
Mm,
noticing now more than ever she needs to be cued a lot. Like there's clips going around that constantly shows she needs to be cued. And it's just like, you know what I mean? If you care enough, you're gonna try to perfect your craft, and she's just getting sloppier, lazier, and it's a shame. It's
mm,
a shame because I really appreciated what she did for the company before. But it's just like if you're not going to be a team player, then get out of here because to be honest, nowhere else really wants you. You should be lucky that this company even wants you because right now you're kind of damaged goods with the way she conducts herself, the way she's been going about her matches and the way she's been going off on social media. It's just like you're just digging a hole and digging and digging and digging. She does it to herself constantly. Do I think it warrants a fire Ronda Rousey tweet hashtag going around? Not quite. Again, if the Sasha Banks comment is true, screw her. Screw her. Cause I mean, like, why is Sasha? Sasha ain't even been around like 6, 7 months, bro. Like, how is her
mm,
name still? How is she still catching strays? You know what I mean? Like, the girl really is the conversation without being there. It's like
mhm,
kind of iconic, if you ask me, man. But I don't think she's a value. She could leave today, and I think everyone would just be like, all right. I don't think there'll be a full on celebration for it, but it'd just be like, all right. Because she doesn't add anything. They even stitched her with Shayna and still nothing because she shows she doesn't want to be here. She shows she doesn't respect us. Therefore, we don't respect her. That's just my take on it. She could pack it up and I just wouldn't care. But she sure as hell does not deserve to be
mm,
champion. I was happy that Liv's championship reign ended because it was getting very sour very fast. But I'm annoyed that Ronda got the belt next because it's just like you're not doing anything, like absolutely anything. And you don't care that you're not doing anything. You're just happy that you have the belt because it makes you feel important for 2 seconds. But she don't care. There's no passion. Nobody wants to see a female represent a division that they're not even passionate about.
mm.
What do you think?
So here's my take on it. If the tweet is legitimate, I think that she was trying to operate as a heel more than anything. And she was just trying to poke the bear because I think that it's pretty well known that people like Sasha and they like Sasha more than they like Ronda. Um, However, when I feel like context is everything, right? And it's one of those things where it's like, dog, if that tweet is real, right? You botched. And the girl that you're talking about carried you to your best match in the company. Your best one-on-one match in the company was because of the woman that you popping off on. Excuse me? I don't know. Like it's just weird. It's weird to me. And like you said, she does have this demeanor as if she doesn't care. And I think that part of it is because the honeymoon has worn off for her, right? She had her WrestleMania moment and she arm barred Stephanie McMahon and she picked up Triple H and everybody was like screaming and after she had her title reigns and stuff like that, she had her once in a lifetime run, right? But after that kind of wore off, you can kind of see in her that she just doesn't. She is just not it for her anymore. And also, here was another thing that kind of came to mind. If you look up Google Trends and you look up Ronda Rousey over the past 5 years, and you look up Sasha Banks over the past 5 years, Sasha Banks has had more interest. There's a greater growth in interest in Sasha Banks versus Ronda Rousey. I just don't think that you should be talking about an appreciating value when you're a depreciating value. That's not the way the world works. Toyotas don't make commercials that try to compete against a Lambo. And that's where you at. That's where you at. That's where you at, sis.
Sounds
Like
cold.
you you can't be out here popping off on somebody whose absence is more valuable than your presence. That's not the way the world works. If you the top dog and the division is the weakest it's ever been, you're not good. You're not good. You're not. You are the equivalent of Kyrie Irving on that Cavs team of when LeBron went to Miami. Shout outs to Kyrie because that's my favorite player. But like you're that. Like, and I just feel like you shouldn't be bringing Sasha up. And on top of that, there have been reports on Sasha and WWE having talks that came to a stall because there was a money issue. And I don't know if that's true or not. But here's what I will say. Whatever Ronda is getting paid, Sasha needs double. Period.
Period.
Whatever Ronda gets paid, Sasha gets paid double. Because Sasha Banks is currently, while not even being around, more of an asset to WWE than Ronda Rousey is. I'm going to end on that note. But